ever thought about spending $100,000 for Gamestop? If you were in this person's shoes, who apparently we will be talking about in this video, would you spend that huge amount of money to buy shares for a gaming merchandise retailer? Well, for Ryan Cohen, it's a yes. Why? Because he just bought 100,000 shares of GameStop. Curious, aren't we? Luckily for you, Fortune Fastlaner, in this video, we will be talking about who Ryan Cohen is and why he bought 100,000 shares of GameStop. Remember that while the first step is completing any of these amazing courses, the second and possibly more important step is taking action even if it's imperfect action. Let's get started. Who is Ryan Cohen? Born in Montreal, Canada in 1986, Ryan Cohen is a 36-year-old entrepreneur and investor with a net worth of $1.9 billion. Why and how did he become a millionaire? Ryan Cohen is the co-founder and ex-CEO of one of the most successful online pet-related companies, Chewy. With his leadership, Chewy saw an increase in sales from 10 million to more than 100 million. Cohen also imported glassware in Canada. Cohen is still an active investor as he has invested in companies worth billions. As Ryan is rather private about his personal life, we did not learn very much about his family, early life, and education. In 2019, the tragic death of his father, Ted Cohen, shook his entire family. In an interview in which he recalled his deceased father, Cohen shared that his dad was a mentor to him. When it comes to education, Cohen's highest qualification is his high school graduation. Later, he joined college for further education but dropped out. Alright, going back to the company he co-founded with Michael Day in 2011, it started when he observed that with the rise of technology, there has been a surge in the number of startup companies that focus on upgrading and improving consumer goods for animals. This trend was particularly noticed by Ryan when he was shopping for his own pet dog. Ryan Cohen and Michael Day named their company Mr. Chewy First, before deciding on naming it Chewy. It was difficult for both Ryan and Michael to raise capital. They were turned down by almost 100 different companies. In 2013, they announced their investment from Volition Company, which raised $15 million to help propel the company forward. And believe it or not, just within 2016, the company capital had massively increased, which resulted in $900 million worth of sales. Eventually, the company became the #1 online pet retailer. Later, in 2017, the company's worth went to $359 million and was about to go public. And PetSmart took its advances by acquiring Chewy. So in April 2017, Chewy was sold to PetSmart for $3.35 billion. This made it the largest purchase in the history of e-commerce at that time. After selling the company in 2018, he continued as its CEO for an additional few years. He resigned from his post in order to spend more time with his family. After selling his company, Cohen invested in companies that were rapidly increasing their market value, like Apple and Wells Fargo. And now, he owns $550 million worth of stocks in Apple. And if you're wondering about his family life, Cohen keeps his personal life private. So little is known about him by the public and media. He has never spoken about his significant other and has never given speculation into the question. Although details of his personal life never emerged earlier, one thing has come out, that Ryan Cohen has a son. And yes, the billionaire businessman Ryan Cohen has a cute baby boy. This heightened the people's suspicion about Cohen being married and having a wife. Anyway, the young investor keeps curtain closed on this matter. Because Cohen keeps many of his personal life and people close to him very confidential, he keeps little known to the public and media. He has not ever spoken about his relationship status or partners, nor has he ever dropped hints. Now that you already know who Ryan Cohen is, let's now go to GameStop. What is GameStop and why did Cohen buy a share in GameStop? GameStop is an American high street shop that sells games, consoles, and other electronics. GameStop surprised Wall Street with a net loss of $147.5 million in the fourth quarter of 2021. GameStop emphasized the business goals of transforming its business models to be more customer-centric and using technology more effectively. Chief Executive Officer Matt Furlong said on a brief conference call announcing quarterly financial results that the company's management strategy is focused on the long term rather than short-term profits. A major player in the joke market surfaced last year as Reddit, an online discussion site, revealed that they are investing heavily in GameStop shares. GameStop is an e-commerce company that had lost considerable ground to independent companies like Minecraft as of late. However, its stock surged in 2020 when CEO Cohen started buying up shares at about $6 and blasting how management lacked the mindset necessary to help GameStop compete with other sectors. GameStop's executive team, brought in last year by activist, investor, and Chewy co-founder Ryan Cohen, who became chairman of the board in April of 2021, are treating GameStop like a startup, with strong growth in top-line sales during the first quarter of this year more important than profits for now. Furlong noted that supply chain issues and the Omicron variant, which was introduced in October, impacted earnings during the holiday season. Despite this issue, Sycamore has decided to absorb higher costs and use lean-in to meet customer demands. Cohen was tapped as the firm's chair last April, but has so far remained fairly mum about his turnaround plans. GameStop's stock is continuing to rise leading up to the release of new games, and some news broke that has added to the exuberance surrounding them. In a new filing, the company has confirmed that Ryan Cohen Ventures bought 100,000 shares of GameStop this morning, while it also said that Cohen and his company now own 11.9% of shares. "I put my money where my mouth is," the 36-year-old tweeted shortly after the filing was released. With a total of 9.1 million shares purchased for about $86.1 million, excluding brokerage fees, the entrepreneur has undisclosed ownership in his company. According to the SEC filings, Cohen's firm began buying GameStop GME shares this morning at $96.81 and finished buying as the stock jumped to $108.82 a share. Just as a purchase of additional shares in over a year hasn't been reported, this is another vote of confidence. In after-hours trading, GameStop chair and Chewy co-founder Ryan Cohen disclosed he purchased more than $10 million in shares of the brick-and-mortar game seller on Tuesday, after the stock skyrocketed more than 30%. This disclosure helped propel GameStop to another record surge. With shares now at around $30 per share, Ryan Cohen Ventures has determined that GameStop is worth the investment. This purchase is a reflection of Cohen's confidence in the company, especially in the current market. Shares of GameStop GME were already up 30% on the day, but the news of Ryan Cohen Ventures' purchases has made trading even higher. Today's purchase of GameStop shares comes less than a week after the company reported a huge EPS expectations miss in their Q4 2021 earnings report. Investors quickly seized the opportunity to purchase stock after news that the company was no longer able to make profit during their holiday quarter, seeing this as an appealing time to buy. The stock met its original level after much resistance and has since continued to increase. Shares of the brick-and-mortar retailer surged more than 15% in post-market trading following the disclosure on a Wednesday evening, reaching $142.25 by about 7 p.m. ET, after skyrocketing nearly 31% on Tuesday. As of yesterday evening, Cohen's stake is worth more than $1.1 billion. Whereas stocks like Gamestop tend to decline on volatile days, they are actually trading up today after the same day. There are some encouraging signs that the stock might just come back. It's been down a little over 13% during the year and is trading near last year's catastrophic numbers, but this recent comeback is definitely something to take note of. As part of the broader market, GameStop stock surged this week. The firm was able to recover losses following a profit-decreasing fourth quarter by a higher than anticipated $147.5 million last week, compared to the performance of $80.5 million 1 year prior. Despite recent rough market conditions, GameStop shares had a feeling of stability and generated enthusiasm from experienced investors. Their shares are down about 59% over their recent peak, but GameStop shares grew more than 3,000% over the last 2 years. Ryan Cohen is making a different bet. He conceived of a company that states gamers will be some of the most fanatical consumers in the metaverse, and they're betting that there will be always an opportunity to make money by selling physical goods like consoles and collectibles, as well as whatever digital goods may come in the future. Ryan Cohen has recently been attacking short sellers. He also took a position in struggling retailer Bed Bath & Beyond. Right now, with his recent acquisitions, maybe he has something to invest? Now, tell us, what are your thoughts about Ryan Cohen? Do you think it is worth it to buy shares from GameStop? Let us know in the comment section below. And that's it for this video, Fortune Fastlaner. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person, as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon!